Hello friends, I am here today to talk to you about your assignment for Can Animals Be Brave, Parts 1 and Part 2. So I'm going to start first by taking a look at this second slide about close reading. And I want to talk about what is the purpose of a close read. Now, we don't use a close read all the time for everything. You wouldn't do a close read over your free reading book. But we use a close read, and a close read is reading and rereading the text to gather meaning, determine the author's purpose, analyze vocabulary, and find evidence and support for any questions on the material. It is a way to help understand difficult or unfamiliar material, and it's a way to uncover deeper meaning. So let's take, for example, the park test. So you might use a close read when you guys are taking your park test. Maybe you read the article or you read whatever they give you, and then you look at the questions. Okay, you're going to read the questions, and now you're going to go back into the story and you're going to read again, knowing what you're looking for this time. And that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. So we are going to be doing two different things during this close read. So you're going to be reading this article 2 times. The first time you're looking for one thing, and the second time you're looking for something else. So what a close read is not is reading the text only once. You cannot just read something one time and be an expert on it and remember every single thing. So what we are doing today with this close read, and tomorrow, this is going to take us 2 days, is you're going to read it each time looking for something else. It does not mean that you're going to mark everything. So in one of our steps, it is to highlight key and repeated words. We're not just going to mark every time, highlight when it says the. I mean, that's not the point of this, right? So it's not just marking up everything. It's like looking for what we're having you look for. And it's also not letting your mind wander while you're reading. I can be guilty of this, especially with like a science textbook. I can read an entire page in a science textbook, and at the end, I would have no idea what I just read. It is really hard for my mind to focus during a science textbook. It's like, I don't know what it is. Nonfiction can be harder for me to read. And that's when we would use strategies like doing a close reading where I know what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm going to read it looking for this. Now I'm going to move on to the next one. What am I looking for? I'm going to reread it looking for this. All right, so we are going to start by looking at this pink first slide, and this tells us the 2 steps that we are going to be doing today. The first is that you're going to read this article, the entire thing. It looks long. I know some of you are like, but it's only 4 slides. There's not a lot of writing on the slide, so I think you're going to be okay. So you're going to read this article about looking at whether or not animals really can be brave. And then you're going to think, what is this text about? And then you are going to write 3 sentences, just what you got from this article. What was it about? So I'd be curious to see your thoughts. Do you think that animals can be brave? Or if they are not brave, do they just act kind of like on instinct? So yeah, I can't wait to hear what you think about that, because I have a dog named Lola who would bark at a leaf rolling across our driveway. And I don't know that Lola is brave, or is she just barking because she sees something? All right, when you are done with step 1, then you are going to complete step 2. In step 2, you are reading the entire article again, and then you are going to highlight at least 4 key or repeated words on each slide. So I am actually going to walk you through the first part of step 2 right now. So here's the first slide. Can animals be brave? When much-loved jump racing horse Desert Orchid died this week, he was described as one of the bravest racehorses of all time. But can animals be brave? Even the Queen was said to be in mourning when the death of racehorse Desert Orchid was announced this week. The legendary Grey, known affectionately as Desi, was a firm favorite of the royal family and played a starring role in a pageant to mark the Queen Mother's 100th birthday. Praised as one of the best racehorses of all time, he was also described as the bravest. But can an animal be brave? All right, so now we're going to stop and we're going to go through and find at least 4 repeated words, and you're going to highlight them. So as you can tell, probably in every slide, I guess I will highlight in orange, you're going to find the word brave. So let's highlight that. Did I do that backwards? I did. There we go. All right. Horse was said. Here's horse, racehorse, racehorse. So I will, and racehorse here. So I'm going to do racehorses. Highlight. Animals, animals. Here we have queen, queen mother. Royal family, that's basically all the same thing. So I'm going to do queen. And I have one more. Oh, duh, desert orchid. Okay. And here is, this is kind of morbid, but we have died and death. So those are two similar things. So I am going to do death. Okay. So I feel like that's good. So that's what I would do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 highlighted words. All right, then you're going to move on to the next slide. Reread selfless. And then you're going to highlight at least 4 key repeated words. So remember, like if it's a keyword means like an important word. So maybe they only said it one time, but you know, like, okay, that was important to this part of the story. So you can highlight that one. All right, so you guys are going to start now by reading the entire text, thinking what it's about, and then writing 3 sentences what it's about. And then you're going to move on to the step 2, where you're going to read it again. And you are going to highlight at least 4 words on each of the remaining slides, okay? As always, feel free to send us an email if you have a question, and good luck.